Hello everyone, I'm Beyza Erdoğan. As Dost Foundation, we greet you all. Welcome to the channel of our Erasmus Plus project, A Different Country, A Different Life. We come together with 13 different nations from 4 different continents, and we talk about all the aspects of being an international student and having education in your own country. Our participants share their own experiences with you. Hello David and Mariam, welcome and thank you for accepting the interview. So David, can you introduce yourself?
Good morning, thank you for inviting. My name is David and I'm 24-year-old. Currently I'm teaching in our local Armenian university. I'm teaching management and programming. I've been doing this for the last 3 years, and at some point I also used to be a youngest teacher in my country. And I do a lot of work around not only studying the major topics that I'm teaching, but also organizing some events and helping students to gather together and organize some campus-centric stuff. So that's what I do.
Yeah, this is perfect. So about your classes, do you teach in English or Armenian?
It depends on university which I'm teaching. Currently I do it in English, but there are some universities that ask for Armenian, so it depends. Sometimes Armenian, sometimes English, but I prefer English.
Okay, so Mariam, can you introduce yourself to us?
Well, my name is Mariam Belghazi and I'm from Morocco. I'm 22 years old. I'm an English teacher. I'm teaching English in a primary private school. I'm a debate facilitator too. I'm a member of an NGO where its name is Youth Empowerment Society. So you can know from the name of the NGO that we are working on empowering youth's abilities of public speaking, debate, and their soft skills. That's all.
Okay, so you both have students, and I actually want to ask you to why would students choose study abroad? Mariam?
Well, for my own perspective, I see that they see another country, first of all they might even just want to discover their country and try another educational system, which must be really different from their home educational system and home country educational system. That's the first one. Maybe the quality of education, or maybe they didn't maybe have access to what they want, the field that they want. For example, some Moroccan students want to study medicine, but they don't get their higher school degree in a higher mark, so that they go to Ukraine or Russia to do the field that they want, either dentists or doctors or even medicine in general.
So one of the reasons is because they face with some struggles in the education system. So what about the international students in Morocco? Why do you think that they choose Morocco?
Morocco is a very warming country and welcoming to all Africans, first of all, because as you can see that Morocco is full of African students. They find good people, kind people, good educational system, and of course Moroccans, they don't have any problem with Africans, and by contrast they help them, they direct them, anything, and professors in universities and high schools and all the schools in generally, they warmly help these students because they know that they are in a different country and they are trying to adapt with a new society, with a new culture and a new language, which is a huge struggle for them.
Okay. So supporting the universities, the international student, it's the one of the most important things for them, because having morals and having some kind of good vibes from the university is quite crucial. So what about the advantages of studying in your hometown? Like your students, some of them are Moroccan, and maybe the most of them. And can you say the advantages of studying in your hometown?
In our like students who study in their home country, first of all, they don't face any struggles concerning the culture, concerning the language. They make friends easily. It's not like going onto another country, a new weather, a new society, new culture, new language even. So not facing any struggles of this is a very big advantage. And of course, seeing your family, even if students like live with their family while studying in university or moving to another city, you are just in Morocco, so you can easily go to see your family if you are sick or you need them, or when you finish your exams, you easily take the train or the bus and, hey, my family, I'm here.
So do you observe the academic success of the Moroccan students and international students according to, like, for example, international students may leave homesickness and they may leave some problems with the educational system or the governmental issues. So do you observe the does it affect their educational academic life?
No, apparently, because as I stated earlier, that the government is very cooperative with the international students, and of course we are part of Africa, so they are not making any difference between Moroccans and Africans in Morocco. We are all of us, and the government, everyone is trying to help them and direct them to do what's the best for them. And concerning their academic assessment or level, they are very good. Even sometimes we find some international students are much better than the Moroccan students, because they are really trying hardly to study and after that to work and to guarantee a good future for them.
Okay. So, David, what can you say about in Armenia, the international students? Are they live some struggles with the educational system, for example, in your university? Because you told me that both you have classes in Armenian and English. So, for example, in a class, there are international students, but you are teaching in Armenian. So, would it be a problem for them, or do they ask you to explain the class one more time in English? Some kind of struggles?
Yeah, thank you. I think there are universities that they promote themselves as a university for international students. For example, we got medical university, which is doing great for international students. They have a lot of departments that support them, and we got other universities. Some universities that they never promote themselves as a university that international students should come and study there. So they most of the time they don't count it as an option that there will be international students. So it really depends. That's maybe the main reason why some universities require English and some universities don't, because they recognize that it's not going to be a good shift for doing stuff for international students since they don't have, and that make some disadvantage for the local students that study there. So if university from the origin promoting himself like an international good place for international students, the education is in English, and there is no struggles with that. But if university don't promote himself as a place for international students, then it's probably Armenian, and usually you can't meet any international student there. Maybe you may see some Armenian who used to live in abroad but then came back for education. Sometimes it's not a usual thing, but sometimes you can. But for international students, if the university don't promote itself like a place for international students, most of the time they are not there, so it's not a problem. But if there is international students, as I gave an example for American University of Armenia or medical university, or we have other small universities that like accepting international students, the education is in English, so the students don't get any problem with that.
So this distinction between the universities makes the educational system better in Armenia?
I wouldn't say so. It's not relating to the quality. It's actually about having the quality to invite international students. So if the university feels like he can invite international students and he got enough quality for education to like invite others and show, you know what, we do better, then they offer that. But if not, Armenian universities are like, they're modest, they know what they can and what they can't, and they all of them goes like toward this qualification, but some of them already got it, some of them on the path, so we're developing the system. But the quality and this like are not actually, this system not making the system good.
Okay, so what about the studying abroad? Can you tell me, like, looking to observing your students, international students, what are the advantages of studying abroad, also especially in Armenia, from your perspective?
Thank you. One thing I want to start from there is that because of the structure of this project, we talk about two groups, like national students and international, but I want to mention that there is third group. So there's international students who move to another country, there are students who live in their own city and study there, and there's also students that move to another city which is not really close to their home city and study there, and they kind of close to international students because they struggle some similar problems, some not. So advantages of being international student is exchanging the culture, getting more open-minded, and learning things that you might never see in your country, and specifically in Eastern countries where traditions are really strong. Sometimes being a abroad student make you like feel my culture is not the only culture in the world, so I have to accept people, I have to respect them. And when you communicate with other people from other cultures, you got really open-minded, and this is the best part of being international student. Second advantage, which is, some people think that this is a disadvantage, but I don't believe. I believe that this is advantage. You are on your own, so you becoming a person who can care about himself very easily. He don't or she don't depend on anyone, and this qualities really help later when people finishing the education and then trying to get the job, because in a business world, I mean, you have to be like the best of the best, and when you learn to be on like depend only on you from the beginning in education, then later it's easy for you to get a job and even maybe move to another country for your career, or move to another city, live alone in some conditions which is not the conditions you prefer, but it helps to grow in a career and become a good professional in the eyes of the companies that will hire.
Okay, so is there any international students that you know that cannot adapt the new country who came for the education and turn back to his or her hometown? So because of the social adaptation or cultural or governmental issues or the education system, like anything.
We got a statistic from the same medical university that 1% of international students get back after 1 month, in like 1 month. But I think the reason why they moved back actually is not relating to non-culture, non-government, non-system. They got their own personal problems, or they just changed their mind about studying that field or that university. The culture is welcoming, so we as a community in Armenia, we feel great to accept new people, to show them our culture, our country, our city, and you can feel really warmed in our place. So there's a lot of good people that willing to help you. One thing is causing real problems is language. Not all Armenians know English, and sometimes it causes some troubles for international students because they like entering a market, and maybe small markets. Big markets haven't that problem, but maybe small markets next to your house, the seller, which is like maybe a 70-year-old woman, she don't know English, so she can serve you, and maybe you got lost somewhere and you're asking for like people, and many of them don't know English. But if someone knows, he will stop, he will show you, he will like do everything in a proper way.
So, is there any students, international students, learn Armenian language?
Yeah, sure. There are some Indian and Persian students that came for long term, like for 7 year or 6 year, and at the half of their path, they starting like a little bit talking, and then sometimes I met a lot of guys who all study and drive a taxi, and when I got them, like they come for me, and I'm always asking them, and they starting like speaking in Armenian, but with an accent, and it's so cute. I like that, and we like a lot of joking, a lot of laughing, and we love that communication. So there's, yes, beside those students who came to study language, because we got that kind of students who came for studying Armenian, like linguistics students. Beside them, other students also learning if they gonna stay for a long
time. Yeah, this is good. So the last one is what about the disadvantages of studying in students' home country, like Armenian students studying in Armenia? Do they have any disadvantage, you think?
I want to generalize, like not specifically in Armenia, but I think everywhere, again, we're coming to the point that if you're studying in your own local university, probably your family is carrying you, helping you, and your focus is only on education, which I feel is not okay. So when you're a student, you shouldn't only care about education, like studying and reading and writing, but you have to do more than that. You have to enter into new culture. You're becoming a man or woman. You're not boy and girl anymore, so you have to work soon. Maybe you will get married and like have a family, later kids. So in university years, I believe that students should do more social stuff. But when people living in their own country, it got kind of losing, this idea is got lost, because you're living in your culture, you know everyone around, even if it's like small city or a small country, which is our example. We almost all know each other because we're not that many. But when you're an international student, you have to care a lot of other things, not only
big
studying.
Responsibilities.
Yeah, and take responsibilities. Be careful about what you do, how you do, and also, I don't want to say like everyone, but when you're you never experience international culture exchange, probability that you will be close-minded person, and it doesn't mean that you're gonna do something bad, but your mindset, your thinking will be closed in some shape. Probabilities are higher, so that's the disadvantages, I think.
Yeah, so it could be a struggle with being an open-minded, like it maybe make you hard to be an open-minded as we compare with international students.
Yeah, because you're in your shape.
Yes.
It's your comfort
zone. You don't
zone.
have to change it.
Yeah, you just have to go to the school, go back, go. All you do is that. When you're an international student, first of all, you have to learn something about this country culture, some rules at least, what you can do, what you can. We came here for a few days, but we learn a lot about what you can do here, what you can't do here, what you would do to show your respect toward locals, what you shouldn't do to, like, again, for them not be feeling bad about your attitude. The same is applicable to the students. When you're in your home country, you knew the standard, let's say standard. You got a standard, you follow it, and you're not thinking about there could be a different thinking, different approach when you go international. But at the same time, you might learn a lot while you're being like a student. But I'm not like saying everyone, but probability, let's say, that probability is higher that you will become open-minded person if you go abroad and study. And doesn't matter where you go, you just go.
Just abroad, yeah. Thank you, David. So, Maryam, can you share your ideas about disadvantages of studying abroad? Because you have students, international ones.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that I want to begin with, I'm sorry. What David has mentioned is when you go far away from your home, either country or your city, you move into another city or another country. What you learn is to become independent. So you are only there. No mama, no mom, no dad. So you have to do everything by yourself. You know how to manage your time, how to manage your budget. You know that there is a future. You have to study to succeed, to guarantee your future well. So you mentioned the disadvantage of international students. Actually, I don't see any disadvantages, but because as I stated earlier that Morocco is a warming country, you can even see that people in Morocco speak French, Spanish, English, and they are now in the process of learning Dutch language. So if you go just to Marrakesh, a city in Morocco, you find like more than 50% people speak English, so that foreigners or international students there won't feel that they are not in their own country. They can easily talk to people and express what they want. Even go to the supermarket or outside or in the university, at least you find 1 among 10 people speak French, English, or Spanish, or even Dutch, because we Moroccans are so much open to other cultures. We get adapted like easily. We are not facing problems like to get integrated to another culture. So we get adapted with every culture. And since I'm an English teacher, so I teach English. A language can't be taught without teaching its culture. So every language is taught, its culture is going there with it. So students that I'm teaching, or when I've been a student of English studies, I got adapted to the UK and USA's culture. And it's a good thing actually. You become more open-minded, you develop yourself, and especially we know that the UK and USA people have some skills that we are learning not from them. Like when you are an Arab person, you are a bit close-minded, but not really close, but you know, some traditions and society and everything, rules, laws of the country. So when you adopt a new language, you adopt its culture. So you become not really one of them, but partially one of them. You're trying to become a better person through that culture you are studying or you are teaching. And concerning teaching students a new language, I'm teaching some primary school students, and volunteering to teach some students, like a volunteering teacher. I face some problems because small students can't, like kids of primary school, they really can't take the language as it is, so that I have to use some educational methods to teach them, so that I use my target language to translate to them the words that I'm using in English. But there are some genius students and really intellectual ones who really got it easily, like they learn fast, especially words concerning, for example, greetings and daily routine, maybe numbers and everything. And we knew it's all about the teacher who is using a funny, not really funny approach or method of teaching, but it depends on you how you make your students love the subject generally that you are teaching. Like it depends on the way you are teaching them, so that they become enthusiastic and they are waiting for your for the hour that you come to the class and teaching them. And That's how it works. And for international students in Morocco, I don't think that there is an advantage since they are open, since they came to Morocco, and I stated that Morocco is one country. So they don't face any problems. They might, but I have no idea about this. But what I see and what I observe, like every day in my daily life, they don't, because I meet them every day, especially Africans. They are really spread in Morocco, very, very spread. Like Morocco become like 50 Moroccans and 50% is African. So we are facing them every day, going to work or going out or anyone. They ask you, they talk to you. They are very warming, kind people. So we are very warming and really, really proud that we are welcoming such people to our country and take care of them.
Okay, thank you so much. And can you share with us your best memory with your students as a teacher? Or I believe that you both have lots of best memories, because being a teacher is a perfect thing, but maybe just one of them.
As you said, that being a teacher is a very good thing because you share something that you love with people around you. I have a lot of memories. So yeah, one memory just happened, I think, last weekend. We have an activity in our school, so that the semester is off, so we finished working, and there was an activity of teaching students how to dance and dancing and singing. And one of my students couldn't dance. She told me, "Teacher, would you please come over and show me how to?" And I started dancing with them. And there, I feel like even I'm really young, and I feel like they're all my kids. They're like in the morning, teacher, teacher, teacher. That's the great thing, and that's the best thing. Why I woke up every day and go to work.
Yeah, this is perfect. Thank you. And you, David, what about your memory?
Teaching in a university, I even saw some of my grandsons and daughters. The best part is of studying, sharing some. We say all the time open-mindedness and open-mindedness. What I mean under open-mindedness is questioning everything. Why we should do this, why we shouldn't do this, and questioning all the things. What I teach, even for professional reasons, like in our profession, question everything, question. And sometimes students who live far from the central cities struggle with this, so they are more into traditions. If traditions coming this way, we're keeping it. If the teacher told something, then it should be like that. They don't question it, and I'm always saying question it. I remember last year I was invited to give some lectures in a university in a small city. Well, I entered there. There were a small group of 25 people in a classroom, and I went. There were a table and how it's called, the place to stand and talk. So I went. So they were expecting me to go and sit or go and stand there, and I went and sit on a table and start giving lectures, teaching something, explaining something, and they were like, "Is it allowed? A teacher can sit on the table?" Oh my god! And I was like, "What's up, guys? Is something wrong on me?" And then through the semester, I saw how they turned from the followers into questioners who question everything. They want to understand the reasons why it worked this way. Even for professional reasons, when I was teaching something technical, they were asking all the time, why is this, maybe this way. And even though maybe since they just started to learn that topics, maybe they were asking not the best questions, because they their offers might not be good or right, but I like that they start to question it. And then they will question everything in life. They will get an answers, so they will have both values and deep understanding of what they do. That's the best memory for me.
This is a really good value for them too. Thank you so much. So thank you for coming to interview.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.